Welcome to another video. Today I want to answer the question what I do to make my game look so crisp and so, kind of standing out to the general setting and how you normally would experience Final Fantasy XIV. And of course there are a couple of things. The first of all is Gshade that will amplify the overall visual quality of the game. I can show you how it looks with my filters that I use for recording. And we also have the gameplay setting that I absolutely recommend for you to basically have on all the time because it doesn't consume much performance. And let me show you how it would look without this toggled. And as you can see, it still looks kind of crisp, and that might actually be the reason because we're using lighting. But the biggest difference here is the depth of field effect. Let me just minimize this a bit. For example, I have my gameplay filter that doesn't use the depth of field effect. As you can see right now, the background actually looks very normal. We have the bad anti-aliasing that Final Fantasy XIV unfortunately still has. Hopefully they will fix that in 7.0. And of course, you can see that my armor is very detailed and very crisp, and that's another reason, but more to that later. So yeah, this is of course making the image a bit more crispier, a bit brighter, a bit more colorful and a bit sharper because of how the filters are working. But secondly, the screenshots, my preset here for screenshots, this really makes the difference because of how, the background actually changes. You can see that the background is completely blurred, and that's the natural depth of field effect that the preset is using, and it's very, very effective. I feel like this looks like a different game with that heavy depth of field. And of course I can't recommend to do this or use this when you're playing the game, when you're just doing content, or you're doing raids, you're doing dungeons, PvP, whatever. But if you're just taking screenshots, or if you're just sitting around chilling somewhere and you want to have a very nice background or whatever, you're just a Luminza enjoyer or anything like that, this is a very good opportunity and way to make the game look way better because the highlight is clearly on your character now. But on top of that, let me just try to show you how it looks without the lighting setup that I just used here, which makes a lot of a difference as well. Like that's basically the heavy difference here. The lighting image or the lighting source that's just in front of my character right now. And right now it looks way oversaturated and way over brightened, but when you use the manual brightness adjustment, you can give this a very nice little highlight on your character.
And just pour that on top of our chicken.
And that's a totally different look than when you have it in that way. This is kinda the natural look with all the shaders, of course, but it looks totally different, right? So if you're wondering why sometimes my footage looks so much different, especially the backgrounds that I'm just zooming through, that's basically because I'm using lighting setups and G-pose and the Gshade filters, and these are the big reasons why this looks so much different than the normal Final Fantasy XIV image. So on top of that, you have to note that I'm also using a 4K resolution. So if we just end the G-pose here, and even without all the filters applied, this looks kind of crisp, right? And that's mainly because of how I'm using my 4K resolution. A higher resolution, for those of you that really don't have any clue about that, a higher resolution basically grants you more pixel density. That means everything is basically just more detailed. That's what you can sum it up to. And this is something what directly leads us to the next topic, which of course we will set up the gameplay presets here again, which leads us to the mods that I'm using. I have talked about that last time when I talked about the 5 mods that make Final Fantasy XIV better, and this one is definitely part of it. There is a very easy way, or actually a very good introduction video from Kart. I just talked to Kart 2 days or 3 days ago on Discord, and she's doing wonderful work on that department and makes this game look so much better. You can take a look here. This does look still kinda bad, but it looks way less bad than the original one would. So these are basically my ideas or my ways how I make this game look much better. It's really just a mixture of many things. The 4K resolution, the Gshade filters, having the correct lighting setup, like I can just show you again. It's just totally different. It gives this whole image a totally different look, and I really, really like how the game can look when you just use your lighting setup correctly and your Gshade filters correctly, and of course have these mods from Kart's amazing work running over your client that will amplify the textures of your armor, your weapons, and your hairstyle, or yeah, monsters as well. And the whole world, that's definitely making a better overall look, and it doesn't actually consume any performance. And of course, if you need any more info about Gshade, check out the video in the description or the many videos in the description about these topics, and just visit our Discord server where you can find my always up-to-date and newest presets that I changed. And yeah, this time I basically just changed the screenshots from the last video that I did, and yeah, made it work so that it doesn't consume too much performance, and we just have this QMXO. That's the only ambient occlusion we're using right now, and it makes it different from the overall image, but it's kind of subtle. So I think I like this very, very much right now, and the depth of field makes a total difference for screenshots and for making thumbnails for me and all that stuff. We also have the colors that are a bit more popping. We have levels activated, so it makes bright elements brighter, dark elements darker, and then we have clarity that makes everything a bit more sharper, a bit more clearer in my opinion. And that means if you need more info about that, check out the video like I mentioned. And I hope that this clarifies some of your questions. Always feel free to ask me on my Twitch stream, where of course we can't see the full quality of how my game looks, but yeah, I can actually give you tips and guides how you can achieve the same result as well. So thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and keep loving Final Fantasy.